Okay, here we go. So this is going to be exercising on the move because a lot of times when you're traveling, all you have is a hotel. You're in a hotel room. You have a couple of pillows, generally, and you have a bed. And sometimes it's way too soft. So what I'm saying is, if you wanted to do this, if you just want to feel better, like immediately, a lot of times when you're traveling, you're sore, you're stiff, you're like, oh, I don't feel like exercising today. Put this one on, this one. I don't even have my shoes on, see? Because who knows, you might not have your correct tennis shoes, correct? So kick your shoes off. We're going to do our Mobility Wednesday, but this is going to be mobility on the move. That's what I'm going to call this. So I'm going to use what you have if you were traveling. So they do have a bench down here, but this could be your chair. Okay, so either use this as let's say you have a kitchen chair that you're using, or you have a bench. And see, I'm going to sit on this bed, but I put my pillow here because this bed is very soft. And it's usually lower than a kitchen chair. So that's the beginning of a problem if you're not aware of it. So anytime I travel, I always bring this little band. Okie dokie. So pick up your little band because there I did, first move. Oh, excuse me. I do not have COVID. Every time you sneeze or cough, you have to say, I don't have COVID. Or maybe you do, I don't know. Anyway, here's my band. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm sitting on my bed. If you're not in your bedroom, sit on your kitchen chair. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to just do like this. So when you're traveling, what gets sore? Your back, your shoulders, because you're heaving all kinds of weird suitcases and bags and everything like that. So I'm going to show you something today to help you to almost immediately, it does for me, help to release that soreness, that catch in your shoulder. So as I'm sitting here, you see what I'm doing? I'm going up on my toes, okay? I'm sitting really, really straight, and I'm gonna pull my elbows back and drop my shoulders. And I'm gonna hang out here for just a second. Then I'm gonna go to my heels, and as I'm pulling down and back, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna count to maybe 5. So if you came and put your hand on my back right now, you would feel my shoulder blades really, number one, my shoulders are down, but my shoulder blades are pulling against this band, okay? And I'm very extended in my back, and I'm pulling on. I've got to hold this down for about 15 to 30 seconds. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now push down on your shoulders one more time and pull against your band like this with your elbows back. Keep pulling, keep pulling. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release. Go down on your heels and pull out and up. Okay? Now when I go out and up, I'm going to tighten my butt. That's very important. Okay? In what I'm trying to do today, now I'm going to go back down to this chair or the side of your bed. And what have I done? I put a pillow here because usually beds are a little bit too low for some people to get off of real easy. So put an extra pillow on there. Or just sit down in your chair and go ahead and put your disc on your chair. Here we go. Pull your elbows down, put your shoulders down, push your butt back, shine your taillights, come right on down to a sit down, and you're pulling these elbows back. See that? So I'm pulling this thing apart, okay? And I'm dropping and I'm pulling, and I'm going to go up onto my toes. Take a big breath. Now pull down and back Really pull those. Yep. Keep your elbows in, elbows in, elbows in, elbows in, elbows in. Now come down and come up and tighten in, tighten in, tighten in on your butt. And you're all the way up here. And now as I come down the third time, see, I'm putting those elbows in. I'm pulling this band apart with my hands, but my elbows are in. My shoulders are down. I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to go to the sit down. I'm going to keep my back super extended. I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So some of you may say, oh, keep holding. This is very important that you don't let go right now. You got to drop your shoulders and get those elbows pulling back with your shoulder blades really back, pulling, pulling, pulling. Yeah, we just got about 15 more seconds. Hang on with me. Hang on. Down and in, pull. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, release, come up, pull, and come back down. Yay. So here's the deal. Loop your thumb like this now. Step wide. And I'm going to pull down like that. But I'm not going to let my shoulder go up. So drop your shoulders. Soften your knees. You ready? Tummies are in. I'm going to turn, but I keep my shoulder down. So if I were with just you right now, the minute you started into this turn, you know what I would have had to done? Like from the get-go, as I'm holding this down, see how I'm pulling back like that? And my hand is across my waist. I would have put my hand right here, because invariably when you start going around, you're going to do this. I am not doing that. Okay, so drop your shoulders, soften your knees. Now let me go back. Let me go back where I was talking and doing an explanation. So really pull those back, drop your shoulders, pull, hold. The reason you want to continue to do something, even if you did this first part, let's say you just had 10 minutes and you just wanted to do something to help get you out of pain. Well, pull up this recording on YouTube. Okay, ready? Drop your shoulders. I'm going to go the other way. My knees are soft. See, the minute I do my knees down and I soften my knees, what you don't see, some of you, if you're not really paying attention, what you do is when you soften your knees, instead of pushing your butt back and lifting your rib cage, you know what you do? You go like this and you bend your knees. I don't know if you can see that, but you bend your knees and you go forward simply because you didn't hip hinge. So if you're going to soften your knees, you hip hinge a little, and then you drop your shoulders and you are going to slingshot. You're going to go across here, across your tummy. You're going to drop your shoulders and you're going to pull. Okay, you keep your shoulders down and you're holding. I hope you can hear me. And see, I've pivoted and I'm turning, but I'm holding. Breath into the nose, out to the mouth, and then come back around and release. So what I'm trying to do right now is to go through a series of moves that's going to help release a lot of tension around the shoulder, around the hip, and especially through here. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to go back into my hip hinge. See? And if you have a chair, great. But if you don't even have a chair, use a bed. So that's what I have. Okay, so I'm going to go push, and I'm going to act like I'm going to sit down. But just before I sit down, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. And now I'm going to push my rib cage up. And I'm going to drop my chin. So my tummy is super tight. And I'm pushing my rib cage and my shoulders up. Now I'm going to let them come back down. So this is the same thing as the cat camel. that we've done many times on the floor. But if you, when you're traveling and you can take even 30 seconds and do this kind of a motion, see, I'm tucking my rear in and I'm bringing my shoulders, I'm rounding my shoulders, see? And then I'm gonna go back down, I might do it 3 times max. Okay, see, I'm pushing my butt back, I'm going down, I keep my chin tucked. Now come back up, tuck your tail, and up with your shoulders, really push your shoulder blades up, okay? So you're rounding your shoulders right there. You got it? And then you come back down, okay? And then you go ahead and sit. So I'm gonna do a series of moves through this whole workout this morning, that the reason you wanna do something like this and not just say, oh, I'm traveling, I can't do that. See how I'm doing this little turn right now? So if you were on your kitchen chair, you would just turn and put your hand on the chair and pull yourself, okay? Keep your chin tucked, in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Now I'm gonna slowly turn, put my hand on the other side, put my hand on my chair, turn, in through the nose, out through the mouth, pull, turn, take a big breath, and then come back, okay? Now, if you're on your chair, good, but if you're just on a bed, well, you can make do. See, I put this pillow on this because it's pretty spongy. I needed it to be a little bit more firm, but if you're on your kitchen chair, great. Now, I have this bench here. You might have the coffee table. You might have another chair. You might have a little stool. Well, good. Do that. See? See, I'm going to put my foot right up there on that chair. The reason you want to do something like we're doing today is to release tension, to release tightness in some muscles that get strained when you're picking up all kinds of weird bags and you're moving around. So this is an especially good workout to do when you're traveling, when you are doing these kinds of things. Or let's say you came home and you're like, oh, I don't feel like working out today. And then you remember, oh, you know what? I'm going to feel better the minute I do some of those moves that she did in that video. See that? So you see what I'm doing right now? See, I'm doing a very little. A lot of people would say, well, what's the next move, Jeannie? Get on with it. I'm doing it right now. See this? The minute I put my knee up here, the minute that I went from here to here, some of you got yourself in trouble. You know why? Number one, you let go of your tummy. That's number one. Okay, so when I'm down here and I'm going to go raise my legs, see this move right here? That move right there, if you're not aware of your lineup, you are going to flex your lower back. I don't want you to do that. I'm trying to help you so that you re-educate yourself how to move. And did you see how I moved back a little bit? So let's do that again. I'll do it with this leg. I'm going to open back, then I'm going to lift the knee. See that? Then I go in. All right? If you were to put your hand right here on my back right now, it would be very extended. Okay? So for you, try it. Put your hand back there. And if you feel that you have flexed your back in this position, well, don't do that. Just don't do that. So how do you do it? In order to lift your knee, you have to open somewhere. And typically what you do is you get room to bring your knee up by rounding your back. That is not what you want to do, okay? You open back from the hip, you feel these kind of kick in, then you bring that knee up and you put that foot on whatever lower thing that you can find. Usually you have a coffee table in a hotel room. Usually you have a second chair or something like that, a little bit lower. So see, my knee is up there. I'm very extended here. I'm leaning in. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to slide my leg out, okay? Keep the toe pulled back as you push your knee down, okay? This is very extended. Rib cages is up, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and as I lean in, I'm pulling that toe back. So even if you can't reach it, you manually pull your toe back into a dorsiflex position with your foot. You should be feeling huge stretches all through here. Don't slingshot it. Don't go down there, feel the stretch and go, ah! So that tells me you did it way too fast. See how I'm just pushing down? And then I am pulling this toe back as I put my knee down. This alone is going to release so much tension in your calf and in your ankle, in your foot, all the way up into your hamstring muscles. See how I'm pushing down? Pushing this knee down, pulling this toe back, and I'm hanging out here for just a few seconds, okay? Some of you are going, Jeannie, don't you know how long you've held it down there? We need to get to the other one. And I'm like, no. I'm talking to try to keep you occupied so you will stay down here for a little bit. Okay, now come back, draw that back. See this? My knee is up. I'm going to open back. Okay, tighten. Lift that knee. Okay? Put your hands under. Pull that knee on into your shoulder as best as you can. Do a point, flex, and a circling. So this one is for Bonnie. Point, flex, and a circling. So sometimes if you will pull that knee into the chest instead of just doing your pointing and flexing before you get out of bed in the morning, which you should do. But now I'm releasing all kinds of tightness in and around the hip, especially involving hamstring, okay? The back parts of the leg, because I'm pulling this in, but I am not rounding my back. I am not. So I'm circling with my ankle. I'm pointing, I'm flexing, I'm circling, pointing, flexing. Now pull that knee in again to the shoulder and release and put it down. Take a breath. I'm up on my toes and I'm going to lean in. And I'm going to lean in so far that I feel my groin muscles stretching. And you will get a really good beginning of a groin release stretch if you will keep very extended in your lower back. Okay, so now I'm not rounding my back at all. I'm leaning in with my ribs up, and I'm going so far that I feel the groin muscles stretching. And you can put your heels down if you want to, depending on the height of where you're at. You want to just, either point your toe down and lift a little bit. You can adjust that, but you need to keep your chest coming through the legs until you feel the groin really stretching. And then you push on your hands and you help yourself up, okay? Take a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, all right? Now we're going to go to the other leg. Here we go. Drop your shoulders. Yes. Say rib cage up. Yes. Open a little at the hip hinge because you're fixing to bring this leg up, the other leg up, okay? So this is a succession of moves that I'm taking great pains to go through with you because I really want you to get this. This little move, this little exchange that I'm doing here through the back as you lift your knee up, just to put it on a little bench or a coffee table or a chair. This is huge because this is exactly the move that gets so many people in trouble. Because when you raise your leg, you flex your back. I don't want you doing that. Okay, so you open, tighten tummy, you bring this up here, just like this, Okay, so we're right up here, right? And now I'm going to pull the toe into dorsiflexion. I'm going to stay open. And now I'm going to just push my leg down on the coffee table, whatever, a chair, whatever, a bed, whatever you've got. You could be on a chair and have your foot on a bed. You can figure this out, right? Okay, now see this? Now I'm going to keep my toe pulling back. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to go from an open hip hinge to a closed hip hinge. But the minute I start to come forward and I start to flex my back, if I were with you, I would say, okay, we have to start over again. See, it's that important. So rib cage up, I'm pushing my leg straight with my toe pulled back, and I'm coming right straight down here until I feel a pretty powerful stretch coming up through the Achilles, up through the calf, up through the hamstring. This is huge for people that's had plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, back issues, hamstring issues. This whole thing that I'm going through very carefully with you is a big deal. Keep your toe up. Keep coming straight on down here. I'm feeling a huge stretch here because now my leg is straight and I've closed my hip hinge. But my back is what? Very extended. Pull that toe back. Yes. Hang out here for 15 to 30 seconds. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a big breath, big breath, big breath. Then you're going to bring yourself back. You're going to pull your knee up. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put my hands under my knee, open back, pull that knee in, pull that knee into your shoulder. So don't reach out with your head. That's what everybody wants to do. See, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping my ears right here over my shoulders as I'm opening back. I'm pulling this in now. And now I'm going to bring that leg up as far as I feel I can. And I'm not rounding my back again. And I'm going to go around. I'm going to go point, flex. I'm going to pull that leg in. I'm going to go around. I'm going to go point, flex, and around, and point, flex, and pull that leg in. Straighten your back by saying rib cage up. Yes, 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 yes. Take a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Point, flex, point, flex. Now bring that knee in and bring it down. And then you're going to do that turn. You're going to turn and look behind you. Okay? But what am I doing with my shoulders? What am I doing with my core, with my midsection? I'm keeping my tummy in tight, and I'm turning carefully, especially if I'm somebody that has osteoporosis, or I've been told I have spinal degeneration or spinal stenosis. Any of those, this is how you do this kind of a turning thing. And if you will do it properly, it will help release those tight muscles, those imbalanced tight muscles on one side or the other side that's causing you pain. That's why you want to do this kind of a move. You're going to do your own massage therapy here. See? So I'm turning, I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm saying rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up, turn, pull, turn, pull, turn, pull. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and stand up just for a second, and then we'll be right back down into on our bed, or we'll be down into a chair, and we're going to do some groin squeeze, okay, to help with the hip and the lower back. All right. So as I'm getting up this time, I'm going to do that same thing. I can either put my hands on this bench, or I can put my hands on my knees, whichever that you have that you can lean into. So see, you can come here like this, or you can come here like this. And you can go round your back all the way up, and then push your butt back. Okay, so you're doing the cat camel, and I'm doing this twice. I might do it again in this session because this move right here, done properly, keep your shoulders down. Many of you have let your shoulders go to your ears. Push your shoulders down, keep your chin tucked. Now tuck your tail, round your back, and you're putting your hands on your legs, or you can put them on a bench. It's whatever you've got around you. Sometimes if you're traveling, you don't even have a bench or anything to hang on to, and your back is giving you heck because you've been lifting and toting all kinds of weird things, and you've been walking the airports or wherever, and your back is starting to really tighten up. I'm showing you a technique to help you release things all on your own. See how I'm doing several of these slowly? I'm going to go tuck my tail, drop my chin, tighten my tummy, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now when I push my tail lights back, I drop my shoulders. I keep my shoulders, my back really, really extended. Now I round it. Now I round it. Now tuck your tail, tuck your tail, tuck your tail. And this is the last one. Here we go. Push, 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 push. Now come up. And then just turn, just like that. And then turn just like that. So I'm just going to come right here to the middle. I'm going to pull my band in again. And then I'm going to turn to the side. I can do it with a band, or I can do it without the band. Here we go. Into the heels, push, put those elbows back. Now turn all the way open, all the way open, all the way open. And then come back right here. Pull those elbows in, drop your shoulders, soft knees, breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, push. Here we go, pull in through the nose, out through the mouth, tight tummy, tight tummy, tight tummy. Here I am, right out here. Pull those elbows in. Then you're gonna turn, keep your knees soft, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Ear is in line with the shoulder. Here we go, turn, go to the other side, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. Big breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Oh, how you feeling? Doing okay? Good. Now, I'm going to take my pillow. Some of you may not have a pillow. Maybe you have a ball, kind of around a bigger ball, medium-sized ball. Here's the deal. You just want something a little squishy. So, you know our pad that we step on, that many of you have gotten from me? Use that. Get it, sit down on your chair, wherever that might be, put that, push yourself out so that you have enough room to put the, so here I'm using the pillow, you're using the pad, that black pad. It's actually really good because it gives just enough sponginess, but it's firm, okay? So here we go. Drop my shoulders, in through the nose, out through the mouth. So I'm doubling this because it's a big enough pillow that I can double. Scoot yourself out enough so that you can have a good amount of it right in through the middle of the legs, okay? Now, you are going to press in, but you're going to press in with your whole thigh. Some of you have been shown this and you just push your knees in, okay? I want the move to come from higher up into the hip area. This is important, okay? In fact, you can experiment a little bit. Many of you have been given this exercise before. You might even have done it in my class. And because you didn't understand this one little thing, you pushed in your knees, and that's all you did. I want you to push in through all the way up at the hip hinge. I want the whole thigh. And see, when you're using that long black pillow, the balance disc that you have, then you can push, you've got something to push against. And you're not just pushing your knees in, you're pushing your whole thigh in, and you have to open back just a little bit to do that. See, I'm opening back just a tiny bit. My shoulders are down, in through the nose, out through the mouth. The whole thigh from your knee to your hip is pushing against this pillow. Okay, just keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. This move is an important move, but people don't do it nearly as not enough to really get the full benefit. So what I'm doing this morning is to give you release in like tight back muscles, okay? And you're saying, well, what does that have to do with the back? Well, it has everything to do with the back. Keep pushing. Some of you let go, don't let go. Push the whole thigh in against the pillow. Keep pushing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, now 5, 4, keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. Release. And some of you are going, oh my gosh. And that's what I want. I want you to do it correctly so that you really feel that. And once you released it, then you just come in like this. See, I just put my elbows on my thighs and I just come in just a little bit and recover. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to do this pull at least once more. I don't know, maybe twice, depending on how sluggy I think you're feeling today. Or maybe how sluggy I'm feeling today. Anyway, so again, I want to re-emphasize some of these moves. Some people may go, oh, I need to really, do this hard workout. So I'm going to title this workout. So here I'm going. We're going to start progressively squeezing again because we released and we recovered. So now here we go again. So what am I going to do? I got my disc here. I'm going to adjust everything. I'm going to start opening at the hip a little so that I can do what? So that I can press from all the way up where the hip joint is, all the way down my thigh into my knee. I am not going to just push my knees in. I'm going to push the center and up, all the way up at the hip in. So I want that whole thing contracting hard. Yeah, I have my heels just a little off the ground and it helps. Okay, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm open just a little bit, so this is really braced right here. I'm pushing the whole thigh in against that disc, and it should be a pretty firm enough that you're really pushing there. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So the reason you want to do something like this workout when you're traveling is you're going to feel when we're done today, and already you should be feeling extreme releases in some of those very tight muscles. Okay, keep pulling. You got to push really hard, really squeeze it. Yeah, hang on with me, 8, 7, 6, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, 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 release. Woo! Okay, now bring your pillow up, and you're going to come right in here. Put your feet down on the floor, and you're coming right in here, just like this. Nice extended back. And just by coming forward like this now, you've released and recovering from that hard contraction that I hope you experienced. Okay, it's right through here. I want the whole thing pushing in. And if you do that even twice, like we did it, wow, it should be a pretty good recovery. And you should feel pretty immediate release of some tight muscles because it starts into the hip, the lower back, especially when you've got some issues going on. So see what I'm doing? See, I'm putting my foot on my bench again, or I'm putting it on a coffee table, or I'm putting it on whatever. See that? Then I'm going from that, and I'm going right into over my knee. My ankle is over my knee. Okay. So this is my knee replace side. So I have a little bit less concern about turning this out on this side because this is not my hip replace side. If you have a hip that's replaced on both sides, you can do this, okay? So I'm talking to you, Chrissy. You can do this, but you do have to be mindful. You do have to be careful, and you just act like you're going to cross your leg, but then you don't. See, I'm not encouraging you, especially if you have a hip replaced, to push hard. I just want to feel a little stretch way deep down here. And if you'll get in this position and then straighten up, you'll feel it. And it won't be too much. It won't be too much of a turn. And then I just rest my hand here. Now, those of you who have intact hips and knees, if you want to push a little bit on that hand, that's great. But I would encourage you to open back. See, open up. Yeah, just like that. And then come in slightly. See, it's a little tiny move. And some of you are going to miss this because lots of things are going on where you're at, I'm sure. But pay attention to this little move. See how I open back from my hip? I'm pushing down on my knee. Now I'm going to tighten in my tummy, and I'm going to pull my whole body in toward the knee. You will feel the thing, the move, the stretch will change. It will move deep into your hip. Okay, this is a very valuable move if you work it correctly. Okay, so come off of that, open back, put it down. And if you did that one right and you did that little pull in, pull back, whoa, it should have released so much tightness in your back. Okay, I'm going to bring my other leg up. So there I have it's on a coffee table or up on something. Okay, and if you don't have anything, well then just go ahead and put your leg, your ankle over your knee. And for some of you, that might be very hard to do. Okay, some of you can't quite do that because of whatever you've got going on. So just keep it open and just bring your leg across your lower leg, and then let the knee turn out just a little. So do it from that point. If you can bring it up, open back, great. So this is my hip replace side, so I have to be careful with it. But I can move in this way. See, I'm just lightly putting my hand on that knee. And then I'm going to just pull my body in to my knee. So I'm not going to use this kind of terminology or cueing. I'm not going to say, put your knee or your nose, put your shoulder or your nose to your knee, because that's not the move I want in your back. I'm going to say, take your belly, your chest, and pull it in to this crossed leg. See, while I'm sitting here, and it will go deep into your butt. Yeah, it will hit those gluteal muscles that tend to get very tight because they're trying to overwork while you're carrying all kinds of weird and bending and suitcases when you're traveling. Okay, and so it's helping to release some of those tight muscles around the hip that in turn pulls on the back. Okay, see how I'm pulling myself in and I'm not rounding my back. This is my hip replace side, so I can't push it down really hard, but I can come in here. And after I come in there and I hold it for at least 15 seconds, I'll take 30 if you can give me 30 seconds. And that's why I'm talking you through this, and I'm wanting you to hang on to it, because if you'll do it for at least 15 seconds, then when you release and you bring your leg down, oh my goodness, it's like, oh, that feels so much better. It's just not tight anymore whenever that you take the time to do this move. And see, I'm doing it sitting on a bed. You can do this whole thing laying down on the floor. But if you're sore and if you're stiff and if you're hurting, my chances are you're not going to get yourself on the floor, okay? Unless somebody knocks you into the floor, which That's an idea. That's an idea. Then you'd have to get up. Um, I just understand this. So I'm doing all of this as if you were in a motel, okay? If you were, all you had is a bed. And if it's a very squishy bed, sometimes you have to sit on a pillow. So I'm going to go ahead and sit on my pillow again. Okie dokie. Now, I have a coffee table. Generally, you're going to have some kind of a coffee table, or you're going to have an extra chair in a hotel room. In your room, you might have your coffee table or a bench or another chair, okay? So now I'm going to do some big time releases into my feet and ankles. And I got my little trusty band, see? It's very difficult to take a bunch of weights. It's very difficult to take a big bar. Some of you might have an umbrella, that might work. But this is very easy to pack, okie dokie? So as I've got my feet on my little bench here, see here, I just looped it right across my foot. See that? It's not on my ankle, it's on my foot. So I'm going to keep one leg straight, and I'm going to take the other leg and kind of just inch it open. See that? See, I just took one leg and inched it open. And now I'm having to feel these muscles on the outsides of my legs, okay? And inch it open enough that you're feeling it, okay? The only way you won't feel this the way I'm wanting you to is if you cave and you bring your knees in. Now, we're going to do something like that in just a minute, but right now, I want a pretty open pathway here from pulling that band. And there's resistance, and I'm feeling it up through here, all the way through the legs, okay? So you keep that open, you keep that pressure on. Take a big deep breath, and now you're just gonna press one toe down, keep one toe up, and then switch. One toe down, one toe up. But here's the deal. While you're doing this, you are keeping pressure open. And it's hitting you right out here on the outsides of those legs, okay? Stay open, keep your tummy tight, press one toe down, one toe is up, okay? One toe, and see the position, I'm on the end of the bed, sitting on a pillow to make me a little higher, and then I'm doing a press and pull. But here's the big part of this exercise. I'm staying open my whole leg from the hip, especially on down, and I have a resistance happening. And man, if you're holding as long as I'm doing it now, if you've done this whole thing with me, I can tell you you're feeling it up through here, okay? This is a good move, a very simple move. You just got to know how to do it. Stay open, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more exchange. Keep it open, keep it open, keep it open, keep it open. Breath, and bring it back in. Bring it back in. Oh my goodness. Lean in, put your elbows on your knees. Just lean in just like this. And push your shoulders down. I got my elbows on top of my knees, and now push the chest through. Keep your chin tucked, and now push through the elbows and open your shoulders. Open your shoulder blades. Then come back down. Keep your shoulders down, and then come back and open your shoulders. And then come back down. So I'm doing about 3 or 4 of these. Open the shoulder blades, close the shoulder blades. And I'm doing it with my elbows on my knees, sitting on the end of my bed or sitting on my kitchen chair, okay? Now, I'm gonna take my hands, okay? Take a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, all right? And I'm gonna just keep my elbows right about here. Right about here. So where is that? See how my shoulder is? There's where my elbow is, okay? Some of you are up here like this, and it's very difficult for you to get those hands and elbows in line with your shoulder. You're doing it out here, so keep pulling. And if you have a problem getting them out there, you might need to do this and walk into like a wall so that it holds your arms open. Okay, so drop your shoulders, open, 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 and then extend them all the way out. Now open, 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 open. Breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take one hand, put it behind your head, and now act like I'm pushing your elbow open. Okay? Then bring it back. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take the other hand, back of the head. Now act like I'm pushing your elbow out. I'm pushing it. I'm really pushing it toward the back there. And then open, release, and bring it down. And do a round shoulder, round shoulder, round shoulder, round shoulder. I'm standing up. I'm doing a round shoulder, round shoulder. I'm going to drop my shoulders. And then I'm going to pull my arm across my body. And I'm really pulling it to my chest here. But here's the deal. You've got to keep your shoulders down. And you got to keep your knees soft. My chin is tucked. And then I just hang out here for a few seconds. Don't just do this and go and do the other one. Just hang on there for about 10 seconds at least. Drop your shoulders. Okay, here we go. I'm going to drop my shoulder again as I pull it across me. I'm going to keep dropping it because it keeps wanting to come up. And then I'm going to try to reach way over here, and I'm hugging it to me. Keep my chin in, keep my knees soft. Tight tummy, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and bring those hands down and shake, 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 shake. Okay? We're going to do a little pendulum, just like this. Then we're going to do a little tiny hip hinge, a tiny hip hinge. So I'm going to do the pendulum this way. Then I'm going to do a little hip hinge, and I'm going to go this way with them. Okay, because a lot of traveling involves a lot of shoulder lifting, shoulder working, reaching things and getting things, reaching up, putting your suitcases away. And so what I just went through and what I'm ending here with is some great shoulder girdle releases. And so a pendulum, you're not lifting here, you're just swinging them. So we did it this way, and then we did it this way. And we don't put any pressure on it. And now the last one we're going to do is what we started with, in case some of you came on a little too late, okay? This band is so helpful in helping you release some real tender places that you just can't get at unless somebody pushes on you. This little move that I started this whole session with, I'm going to end with. And I was sitting, I think. I'm going to stand as I do this. Okay, I'll turn to the side. Here's my band. I'm going to keep my wrist neutral, meaning I'm not letting them turn in or go out. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm going to soften my knees. And then as I pull my elbows back, I pull open against the band. Drop your shoulders again. Pretend I'm standing there with my hands pushing your shoulders down. Okay? Push open. You're pulling open while you're keeping your shoulders down. This move right here, done properly and hanging out here for at least 15 to 30 seconds. Drop your shoulders again. As you pull open, drop your shoulders. You're going to have a lot of tension that you're pulling and pushing with, but it releases all of those tight muscles in the shoulder girdle around your shoulder blade. Push your shoulders down one more time, in through the mouth, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Pull open. Now release. Woo! shake, 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 shake. Okay? That move right there alone, along with some of these real trigger points that I try to address, the inside and the outside of the legs, okay? Adductors, abductors, they are little muscles that help line up and make your spine and your hips work well, and they get in balance because we're in balance. I mean, I have one leg shorter than the other because I have multiple multiple joints replaced. Anyway, I'm going to title this one, and I had trouble loading some of my workouts last week, but I'm working on it. So I'm going to load this one, and I'm going to call this Mobility on the Move. And the big reason you want to do it is not that you're going to get this huge, hard workout. You are going to feel better the minute you're done with this. And I hope that you feel better now. I know I do. I had a real tight shoulder because I had quite a trip yesterday. Anyway, I will take this off recording, and good job to everybody.